This is Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge Audio Network.
Forge fans, welcome back to Forge Daily. This is episode 3 now. Today is May 11th, 2023. I'm your host, Mackenzie Barwell, here to give you all things Forge. A beautiful morning here at Tim Hortons Field. It's nice and warm. Forge players out training in their shorts and t-shirts, which is awesome to see. Today's practice began with a little soccer tennis warm-up and some small-sided drills. This is always my favorite part to watch when they're having fun before things get serious. In yesterday's episode of Behind the Beard, Coach Bobby actually talked a little bit about this and the importance of making sure the players are enjoying themselves, and you can definitely see those values translating into his training plan. That being said, in today's episode, we are going to discuss the team's current form going into Saturday's matchup against Valour FC and who you can expect to see in the lineup. But before we get into that, I want to talk about some players who are happy to be back out on the pitch. Jordan Hamilton is here and fully participating at training. He suffered a little knock earlier this season and had to sit out against York United. Definitely a frustrating process for him when those, smaller scale injuries lead to a long recovery process. I spoke to him and asked how he battles through these kinds of situations and how he prepares his body not only to play a full season, but also in cup competitions like the Canadian Championship.
Yeah, it's always difficult to be injured, something you can't control, but the team played very well, and it's just about working twice as hard to get back into the lineup, and then playing well when I get on the field. So it's always difficult to go down with an injury, and especially one that you just have to miss one game or like 1 week of training, because then you're just out of rhythm a bit. But it's all good. It's still early in the year, and looking forward to staying at the top of the table, and it's a big game coming on Saturday.
A few other familiar faces worth mentioning. We've got David Chouanier and backup keeper Chris Kalongo back in training today with full confidence. Seba Castello also slowly making his way back out onto the pitch after sustaining an upper body injury during Forge's preseason trip to Costa Rica. He hasn't had the opportunity to come back since. We chatted about what his recovery process looks like and the importance of continuing to come out to training and get touches on the ball, even though he might not be able to play at 100%.
Yeah, so it's obviously a bit different than the other guys, right, because you're injured, right? You have to come in for rehab a bit earlier. You have to do different type of workouts, right, because you're restricted on what you can do. It's also tough on the mental side, right, obviously, because you're not with the guys and you're usually by yourself, but you just got to really try to stay engaged, right? Do what you can with the guys, and then at the end of the day, everyone goes through it, right? So you just kind of got to toughen it out, and then when you're back, just enjoy it and savor those moments.
Do you find that the mental side of things is almost harder to deal with than the physical when it comes to an injury?
Yeah, obviously, the mental side is a big aspect of it, right? Because at the end of the day, it's what you do for a living, right? Mm-hmm. And it's what you enjoy doing as many years as everyone's been doing it, right? So you just gotta work through it. Everyone, as I said, goes through it, right? So you can talk to other people if you're going through those hard times, and as long as you have a good mindset, I feel like it'll make the process easier, and if you have good people around you, it'll obviously help too. Sure.
This Saturday, Forge taking on Valour FC at Tim Hortons Field. It'll be their first regular season matchup. Forge looking healthy and strong, coming off of that win on Tuesday. I spoke to a key component of both Forge's defense and midfield. Here's what Alexander Achinioti-Jönsson had to say this morning. We'll get to Saturday's matchup in a second, but I gotta ask, I noticed the haircut. What changed?
I don't know. I needed a switch up, I think. It's been a couple of years since I had it short, so I just figured
Do you feel more aerodynamic in practice now?
I actually got that question outside, but no, I felt slower, which is not a good sign.
All right, now into the nitty-gritty. How do you feel about the team's current form, and what does that kind of change about the morale at practice, obviously going into that match on Saturday?
I think we are at a good spell right now. We got a good run going. We kind of had last year as well, but I think it's important that we don't get comfortable in the position we are right now, and that's where we were after a couple of games when it went well last year. So I think we got to keep the energy that we've had the last couple of games and bring it into the game on Saturday.
All right, that'll wrap up today's episode and Forge FC update. Tune in tomorrow when we dive into the details of Saturday's matchup. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you then.
This has been Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.